Word on the street is we're going to Orlando, so I had to throw on the Mickey hat.
Oh yeah, look at that, man. You're spot on.
We got a great video for you guys today, talking about creativity. How you can be creative if you aren't creative. Huh? You believe that? It's true. I said it.
Don't you have to be creative to be creative?
No, you don't have to be creative to be creative. It's a good name for this. Welcome to You Don't Have to Be Creative to Be Creative.
So embarrassing, guys. How dare I?
Think about what you can do if you just had a little bit more creativity. How many problems will you be able to solve? How much further ahead in work, in your career, in your love life can you get if you just had this much more creativity?
We're with the owner of Velvet. What up, Velvet?
What up?
How you doing?
Chilling.
Oh! This is my good friend Stella. She's a dog, by the way.
Alright, so let's take a pause on this video and bring you guys just a little bit of value. Because I've been thinking, right? And a lot of people, they hire us, 7Seas Media, to basically be the creative side of their company. Because a lot of people, they don't consider themselves to be creative people. So if creativity is a process, then that means it can be replicated. And if it can be replicated, then that means that you have absolutely no excuse as to why you can't be creative. So for all you lazy people, we're gonna give you guys 3 little points that are gonna help you be more creative today. So the first thing that you want to do when it comes to creation, in order to be just a little bit more creative today, is you want to start by setting your limitations. Basically, in other words, don't think outside the box, think inside the box. If you think about it, it makes sense, because when we're giving too much freedom to create, we often result in cliche ideas. For example, I give you a clock, right? And I tell you, let's replace the hands on the clock with something else.
Okay.
What would you say?
Toothpicks.
That's it?
Flowers. What was the question?
All of you guys, Nati was a little bit creative with there, I'm not gonna lie.
What'd you say?
But
Flowers.
most people would say toothpicks. Most people would say, you know,
I was trying to,
strings,
straws.
lasers, like
Straw.
straw, like anything that's linear, right? Because
Lily pads.
so think about it. So that's it's a very broad question, right? Now, what if I were to tell you, what if I were to put a limitation on you? And I were to say, replace it with something that is alive. What would you say?
Alive? Your hair. Your body hair.
My body hair.
This one right here.
How is it alive? So something that's alive?
Something that's alive.
Wait, your body hair is dead.
Caterpillars.
I was gonna say
That's
that.
what?
No, you weren't.
So as you can see, just by putting these limitations, by thinking inside of the box rather than outside the box, we see just how much more creative we can actually be. And this is basically a pretty easy formula, right? 5 elements: who, what, where, when, and how. So if the what is the actual creation, and the how is the process, the creation process, which is gonna come together after you determine all the other elements, which is the who is it for? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for a client? Are you doing it for the community? Figure it out, write it down, make sure you get organized, because if you're able to visually see it, you're gonna start seeing it, the dots just come together. Figure out the when. When do you need it by? Is there a specific deadline? If not, set a deadline. Write it down, because that way you're gonna start to execute. You're gonna start to move one step closer to that actual creation. Where is where would it be displayed? Where are you going to be able to create this? Do you have to set a specific location? If you don't have a specific location, make yourself the location, whether it's in this office, whether it's as you are enjoying a lake house for the weekend with your friends. Where are you going to be available to make this creation come to life? And then finally, once you have all these elements actually written down and you can see them, then the how, which is the process, the creativity process, it just, by that point, you'll realize that it's gonna come to you. Once you've already established your limitations, you want to be able to dig into what's already out there, right? Because coming up with an original thought out of thin air is damn near impossible, right? You don't want to force yourself to come up with an idea out of nowhere. You want to see things that are already out there. There's so much power in being able to dig into these resources that already exist. Use your limitations to figure out what kind of resources are better off for you to be able to dig into. Figure out what books, what shows, what movies, what articles on the internet there are, and just read as many dots as you can. That way you don't have to create your own dot, you just put two together.
Just like the color purple, nobody invented the color purple. Purple came up because it was blue and it
pink?
was red.
No, pink.
Blue and red.
Pink.
Make purple.
Blue and red combined.
Blue and pink.
is
Blue and red! The three primary colors! Blue and red. Blue, yellow, and red. Those two primaries, blue and red, came together and became purple. That's how it exists, right? So it's not like if you want to create the color purple, you don't have to go out there and force yourself to think. Like if you ever try and just sit there and think of a brand new idea, it's going to be impossible.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier to get two dots and put them together. Here's some modeling tips from a professional photographer. Number one, you need a prop. Without a prop, the picture's going to be bland. Look, this is how it would look like without the prop. With a prop.
Ooh.
Whoa! Who's that though? Holy! She's stunting on him! Oh! Whoa!
Yo, what do you have to say to all those people who are right now just sitting at home doing absolutely nothing with their lives, bro?
I'm not gonna say anything.
You're not gonna say nothing? Nothing at all? You don't got no
Mira,
advice?
enfócate aquí. Enfócate aquí.
Oh my god.
Get up off your ass. Tushes. Get up off your tuckuses. And go live, man.
And last but not least, guys, if you want to be more creative, you have to learn to just forget about it. And this is something that some of the greatest artists, greatest creators in the world can tell you to do. Don't stress yourself out forcing these ideas. A lot of times the best ideas come when you're not even thinking about it. So it's important to let yourself daydream. Let your mind wander.
I think it's actually so important that you set aside time where you're not dependent on anything. You're not on social media. You, like you said, you leave yourself room to think with your own thoughts, because I feel like so many people nowadays are so dependent on social media, and they basically, when you're on social media, you're letting what other people are doing, what other people are saying, like literally influence what your thoughts are. So you need to literally be intentional about stopping, sit with your own thoughts, because that's the only way that you're gonna know what is actually your own opinions, what is actually your own thoughts, and not what other people are influencing you to think about.
The mental space is one of the most important parts of creation. So if you are just always consuming information, and if you're letting yourself be distracted with everything, you're never gonna have time to be creative. So guys, it's really not that hard. Practical tip that I use on an everyday basis that helps me be creative every single day is as easy as being off of your phone for the first and the last hour of your day.
Yep.
You don't understand how big of a difference that makes. When you wake up, what's the first thing most people do? They reach for their phone.
I read my Bible. Me too.
That's a good idea. So for the first hour of the day, just immerse yourself in thought.
Yeah.
Set your intentions of the day.
Yep.
See
Plan
how
it.
you did last, the day before
Yep.
on your previous day.
So good.
Think about these things, and you're gonna be in tune with your own spirit. You're gonna be in tune with your own mind, and you're gonna
And
be
your soul.
way much more creative throughout the day.
Yeah.
Same thing at the end. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, if you put your phone away the last hour, it gives you a reason to look for other things to do.
Yeah.
It gives you a reason to read. It gives you a reason to think, to create, to brainstorm, and it even helps you sleep better.
So if you guys want to be more creative, there you have it. I gave it to you right there, all for free, because I love you. Those 3 things. Number 1, set your limitations. Number 2, dig into what's already out there. And number 3, forget about it.
Also, last thing, what is the world missing because you're not creating?
Oof.
Oof.
Hashtag. You gotta say
Wow.
it again. Say it again, mama.
Anybody can be creative. I don't want to hear any of you guys putting an excuse that you can't be creative. So go ahead and do it. What are you waiting for? Create something.
And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning into this video about creativity. If you guys appreciated this video, liked it, maybe you learned something today, why don't you put in the comments what you guys thought. Tell us, what is your creative process? This is our creative process. It works for us.
Yep.
What works for you? Let us know
Get your
down below.
creative juices flowing.
And thank you guys for tuning in. This has been The Wave, the #1 show for creatives and entrepreneurs, where we help you navigate the seemingly insurmountable sea of marketing. I'm Alex Franco, and these are my lovely sister and best friends, and Andrea, and everybody you saw in the video today. We are
Everyone blow
just...
kiss. 1, 2, 3. And we
Thank
out.
you all for tuning in.
Wait.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Hit the like button. It's going to help us get this word out there to a lot more people. Hit the notification button if you aren't already or
Yep.
subscribed and liking and
Liking, yeah.
Like thing?
Yeah, do it right now, bro.
Do
If
it.
you ain't doing it right now,
Do
then
it.
you what are you even doing, bro? Forget about it.
Do you take sabbaticals?
yes. So, okay.